Okay, welcome back. This video is going to be about the syllabus and expectations that I'll have for you in this class. So in order to get to the syllabus, it's the same as every class you have. You'll go to your Canvas page and either click on the syllabus button or you can click on this syllabus link on the menu on the left-hand side of your screen, and that'll bring you to this. The geometry syllabus is really similar. The only differences will be the course description. So this video is going to work for algebra and geometry because we're really focusing on the expectations and the way that the class is going to be running. So the first thing you'll see on my syllabus is my name, my phone number, my email, and my room number. I highly encourage you to reach out to me in any of these ways. If you need any help at all, I will answer as soon as I possibly can. All right, let's get started. So, materials. I expect every day you come into class with a pencil, your binder, Chromebooks, and paper to write on. And I also expect that if you're a distance learner. So if you're a distance learner, obviously you'll be on your Chromebook, but I expect that next to your computer, you'll have a pencil, you'll have paper, and you'll have your binder so that you're following along in the same way you would in class. Expectations. The most important thing in this class, and honestly, this is something that's probably common in a lot of your handling classes, is respect. It is super important that you're respecting yourself, your schools, and your peers. So in respecting your peers, that means that we are respecting their identities. There will be no identity-based slurs and insults at all. It means that we're helping them when we have the ability to. And it means that we are working with them to the best that we can. Respecting yourself means that you're giving yourself the best opportunities that you can. It means you're coming in prepared for class. It means you're reaching out when you need help. And it means that you are being engaged and doing the best that you can. In math class, it's really important that you understand that we're going to make mistakes. When you're born, you don't know how to multiply fractions. That's something you learn. And so you're going to make mistakes, and it's going to get frustrating at some points. So it's important that you know that that's okay, and also that you know that when you can't do something, you can't do it yet. We don't use the word can't in this classroom because that's not true. You can do whatever concept I give you. It just will take some work and some time. In a similar note, it's really important that you're engaged in my class. And part of that engagement is being honest and making sure that you are doing any assignments that should be done individually, and not using any outside platforms if you're not supposed to be using it for a particular assignment. And I'll make it very clear if you should be using an outside resource. And that honesty is going to be respecting yourself and your education, because if you are cheating, you are not going to be able to learn the math, and that's going to come back to you later when you are doing more advanced math and the basis is not there. Creating an assignment. This class is going to work in a twofold way. The first half is going to be kind of traditional grading like you're used to, and the second half will be mastery-based grading. And there's a whole separate video about what mastery-based learning is, but we'll touch on it briefly here. So the first half is traditional. You'll have quizzes, tests, projects, and classwork. The tests, the projects, and the classwork are pretty self-explanatory. We'll talk a little bit about retesting later. The quick quizzes, you'll have a quiz about once a week, more or less. And the idea of the quick quizzes is that it's showing mastery. It is that you can repeat that as many times as you need. You can redo the work on your own and turn it back in. The catch is that you have to turn it in within a week. So if you take a quick quiz and I give it back to you graded on Tuesday, I expect your redo to be back to me by Tuesday. If that doesn't happen, then the grade you have before stands. So if you want to bring your grade up, you'll turn it in to me within a week. Once you turn it in to me, you can redo it as many times as you need. So if you turn it back into me and I give it back and it's a 2 and you want to get up to a 4, you can turn it in again within the next week. And that can happen as long as it takes you to learn it, as long as you keep turning in redos once a week. That way I know that you're working on the concept and we're getting towards understanding at whatever pace that takes. The second part of the class will be mastery learning, and that's the idea that the most important thing is that you understand the concepts, not necessarily that you can show it to me on a certain day on a certain test, but that in some way I know that you understand how to do the things you need to succeed in math or in geometry or in algebra. And so you're going to have the opportunity to show me that you've mastered each concept through quizzes, tests, projects, and classwork. If you have trouble with any of those, we can check in and even find other ways where you can show your mastery. And if you want more information on that, you should definitely watch the mastery video. All right, some other important information. Canvas, you'll be checking Canvas every day. Obviously, you're probably already doing that if you're watching this on Canvas. And if you're absent, you'll also be checking Canvas. So if you're absent, just pretend that it's a distance learning day. Late work. If you have a deadline on an assignment, I will accept it for 2 weeks after the deadline. But the advantage of turning it in on the deadline is if you turn it in to me and I grade it and you get a 55, you'll have the opportunity to bring that grade up until the end of that 2 weeks. So you can come see me, we can work on it, we can improve it, and your grade will go up. At the end of those 2 weeks, the grade you have stands. So if you haven't turned in anything, your grade becomes a 0. And if you've been turning things in and working with me, whatever your grade is at that point will be the grade that you keep. Retesting, you have 2 weeks after missing a test to retest. In order to do that, you need to come, and if you, retesting. If you'd like to bring up your test grade or show mastery using your test, you need to first meet with me. We'll talk about what it is you did wrong on the test and how we can improve it, and then you'll have the opportunity to retest. Extra credit. You can have up to 4 extra credit points on your final grade, which means that if you have a 46 in the class, you could get a 50 in the class. If you have a 86 in the class, you'll have a 90, and that can be a really big difference. There are a couple ways to get that. 3 ways that are always going to be there is if you're asking or answering a question in just in the general questions discussion. So if I say, hey, I really don't understand number 16 on this assignment, and someone responds and says, oh, I do, here's how I did it, both of those people get a 1/4 point extra credit. Second way is if you find teacher mistakes. So if I'm teaching in a video or in person and I say, all right, kids, 2 plus 3 is 75, and you're like, Miss Fergus, 2 plus 3 is not 75. That's a 1/4 point as long as it's in a respectful way, because it's important to catch me, because if I say 2 plus 3 is 75, that's going to cause some problems later on probably. And then the last way that's always there is you can do ALEX work. So you're going to have assignments in ALEX, and those will be required. But if you decide to work on your own additionally, each hour you work will be a 1/4 point. So if you work for 4 additional hours in the whole semester, you'll get a whole point on your final course grade. And there will also be other opportunities throughout the semester for you to get extra credit. Extenuating circumstances. If you have a good reason that you can't meet class requirements, and that like maybe you can't turn something in time, or maybe you're struggling to have it be high quality, reach out to me. I expect that you turn things in on time, and I expect it to be high quality. That is the basis. But if monkeys are falling from the sky at your house and you just can't focus because the monkeys, then you should reach out to me and I'll say, all right, because the monkeys were falling yesterday, you have an extra 2 days. I am not guaranteeing that you will get those accommodations, but reach out to me if you feel that you need them, and we'll make something work. And then the last piece is the safe space. That is the most important thing in my classroom. This classroom is going to be a safe space for all backgrounds and identities. So no matter what, you will be appreciated, you'll be celebrated, and you will not be bullied for anything that is you. So that includes your race, your gender identity, your sexuality, your citizenship status, any of those things, we will not discriminate against you for. And if there is a problem, you should come to me and I will deal with it quickly and do what I can to make it better. You'll also be trusted and supported in this classroom, so I'll call you the name that you want to be called. I'll appreciate whatever it is identity-based that you need from me. And I'm always there to listen. So if you ever have a problem, feel free to come in or send an email, and I can be there to listen or help you or see what I can do. So those are the expectations of the course. Now that I have clear expectations, I expect you to meet them. And if they're not, there will definitely be consequences, and we'll have a conversation about that in that situation. If we follow these rules, then this class is going to work really well. We're going to have a great time. We're going to build great relationships, and we're going to learn a lot of math. So I'm really looking forward to it.